course, is Wayne Chan, and it's my pleasure to be your host once again at Deal Street Asia's flagship private capital gathering right here in Indonesia.
Markets X-ray for Singapore, Indonesia, and other Southeast Asia registered companies.
I thank the summit because we've all come together here to discuss about the future of Indonesia. We all know the amazing possibilities that Indonesia has. All the fundamentals are there. And what I've seen today is that we all collude in what are the challenges that it needs to overtake. So thanks to Deal Street Asia for giving us the platform to share the thoughts and the challenges that we think this country faces to really fulfill its potential. Thank you very much.
Hi, I really enjoyed the event. I think all the speakers have been really insightful with their comments. And I just want to give a special shout out to the coverage at Deal Street, which I think has been fantastic, and I'm a regular reader. Thanks.
It's not just necessarily just job for the sake of job, but how do you create higher value job? So we have to bring, in terms of additionalities, things related to downstream, things related to healthcare, things like digital infrastructure. I mean, most of the world is talking about artificial intelligence and AI. How can we bring that here to the world? I mean, AI itself, I think, is still in a very beginning stage. It's very early stage. Now the job is how do you bring that to Indonesia for the benefit of Indonesians? That's actually a more exciting story, but really we're still at the very early point.
It's great being here at the Deal Street Asia conference in Indonesia. I think long term, I'm still quite bullish about the potential of the country. There's a huge population, very young, a lot of opportunity in terms of talent, in terms of consumption, in terms of natural resources. So, I think Indonesia will rise again. And I think being around the people here at Deal Street Asia really makes me see that there's so much talent and hard work to bring the country forward. So long term, still very bullish. Yeah.
I've been in this market for more than 10 years, investing in startups and innovation, and I think I'm still bullish. I think there are still good solutions and good innovation coming out of Indonesia. Innovations and solutions that tackle real problems. So, are we still investing? Yes, and I think this event, this summit showcases different views and perspectives, and we can all learn from this.
As someone who's from Indonesia, who's benefited from the innovation that's happened here, who founded a company here and now invests in the region, but obviously biased towards Indonesia as well, I'm long-term bullish about the potential of this country. I think that we have a lot going for us that should ultimately position us to be, a great economic player, not just within the region, but globally. But in the near term, I do think there's some challenges with Indonesia that we need to address. I think that we need to invest in education, we need to invest in the talent pool, invest in human capital, and I think we need to invest in also having a much more robust venture ecosystem where founders can, exchange ideas with each other, where there are peer sort of coaching, but there's also VCs and investors such as ourselves who are actively involved in nurturing the next generation of founders. And again, we need to also make sure that whatever business that's being formed really can stand on its own legs and eventually create value that ultimately can be monetized. And I think there's also the sort of capital value chain down the road that also needs to get a lot more sophisticated. I'm talking, venture investors like us, we invest because eventually we would like to exit because of the value that the companies have created. And so there needs to be an avenue for how those exits happen, whether it's listings, locally or regionally or even globally, whether it's trade sales, strategic M&A, etc. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done by a lot of stakeholders to make this whole, funding of innovation work. But, if you ask me, the road is going to be long, but this has always been true with investing in private companies. We're talking 5 years, 10 years, in some cases even longer. But I do think that the potential is there for Indonesia.
Thanks Deal Street Asia for inviting me to speak today at the Global Investor Panel. So for us, what is very interesting about the Deal Street Asia is the quality and the depth of the dialogue because like within this panel there are lots of like LPs and global GPs and also local operators that are very on ground in Indonesia. So we are not just discussing a concept, but we are also discussing like the real life experience, how to run the companies here in Indonesia. And how bullish I am about Indonesia, I think for Indonesia, we look at Indonesia at one of our core market, and we are pretty bullish on Indonesia, and we are staying here for a longer term. So yeah, we look at like it as the much more longer time capital.
This is a very exciting time where we see all various investors and policymakers and also startup companies all gathered in one session. And what I've heard so far through the morning is that yes, there may be some clouds in the investment sentiment of Indonesia. However, I think most of us are also very bullish because without Indonesia, you really don't have a Southeast Asia strategy. Indonesia is a critical part of investing into Southeast Asia, and we will remain committed to investing in Indonesia. So we're very excited to hear the same message coming out from many of the panelists and also from the conference attendees as well.
It's exciting. It is my first time at the summit. I was supposed to make it last time, I couldn't. But just to see the sheer number of people here asking very relevant questions and a relevant agenda across from investment, but also sectoral themes, all the way from public markets to private markets, and particularly around climate finance. Having to meet ex-colleagues, stakeholders, ecosystem partners, and also companies is quite exciting. Agenda seems to be very well planned, and we're looking forward to continuing our partnership.
So Indonesia is a very important market for us, given that there are a lot of natural resources and a lot of family businesses and corporates in this country that needs to transition, whether to be wealth, whether to be responsibility for this family. So we need to also help everyone transition all at the same time. It is a huge market after all.
Yeah, I think it was a very good event today. We had very candid discussions about the challenges as well as the opportunities facing Southeast Asia, especially the Indonesia private equity market today.
It's been great to be part of this wonderful event. I think it has been a fantastic turnout across different stakeholders in the ecosystem. I think in an environment like that, it is very important for players to come together, to exchange views, to see how we can work better together. Very great content, and really enjoyed having exciting conversations and learn a lot through the process as well. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mikiko Steven, Managing Director of Zendit. Thanks to Deal Street Asia for inviting us to become a panel speaker. Love to be here. As always, love being in Deal Street Asia, connecting with peers, connecting with people within the industries. And I think the topics are always top-notch as well. So it's really good to just be happy about it. Thank you.
Congratulations to Deal Street Asia for today's PEVC Summit. It is very important for us to have this kind of summit most of the time, because so that we can share the latest possible opportunities, and on top of that we can also share the experiences from many different type of companies, and most importantly is to doing the network.
Great. First of all, thank you for the Deal Street team to give me an opportunity to present my thoughts in the panel. It's been a pleasure to attend the Deal Street Summit here in Indonesia. We are very active investors in the Southeast Asia region, and especially in Indonesia. We really like the market, especially the healthcare side. We are probably one of the world's largest dedicated healthcare investors, and currently we have investment in Hellodoc. It's a pleasure to meet so many like-minded people and like-minded investors here. I've come across very interesting companies, and also I've made a few good friends here. So look forward to attending the next one next year as well. And thanks again to the Deal Street team for inviting me here. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Arthur Guslim from AIA. I think the summit is very well organized with a lot of industry leaders, investors, corporates, players in here. And the curation of the speakers are also very, very inspiring.
I'm Rikwan Putra, co-head for Southeast Asia at Blackpick. We are proud to sponsor governance session at Deal Street Asia PEVC conference in Jakarta, where I spoke with deal makers in the regions about the importance of governance. Hope to see you in the next Deal Street Asia event.
Hello, I'm Jonas. I'm the head of Marcom and Business Development of Endeavor Indonesia. So this is the first time Endeavor Indonesia collaborating with PE VC Summit from DSA. We are very thrilled, we are very excited, and we manage the networking area. All full house, all the network is curated, and this is gonna be the partnership of the year for us.
Hi, Abhishek Bakshi from Hong Kong Exchange. I lead corporate coverage in Southeast Asia. This is our third time collaborating with Deal Street Asia, and it's always been a really good experience for us. This time again, I think the energy around the place has been electric, and for us to partner with Deal Street is really a pleasure. So we look forward to many more occasions to collaborate. And again, thank you to Deal Street and the team.
The Deal Street Asia conference in Jakarta has been nothing short but amazing. I was able to learn a lot from industry peers, from investors, VC, PE, on the next big thing, on how the world is shaping in terms of the financial market. So honestly, it has been something that is very encouraging to me to hear for the next phase of growth for the region.
The conference has been really great, actually. It's been a great cross-section of investors, but also industry here. Look, Indonesia is a very exciting country. We at Grab here are leaning into Indonesia. It has so much upside potential. It's a resilient economy. And this venue or this particular opportunity here of meeting investors, actually it's a great reset in terms of how we can work together as a community in really building the opportunity of Indonesia here.
I'm Rikwan Putra, co-head for Southeast Asia at Blackpick. We are proud to sponsor governance session at Deal Street Asia PEVC conference in Jakarta, where I spoke with deal makers in the regions about the importance of governance. Hope to see you in the next Deal Street Asia event.
So I'm always very bullish about Indonesia's potential. Many of the services that we provide are still relatively underpenetrated in this country. It won't be easy, but I truly believe that there's many things that we can do and many win-win solutions we can provide to help to tap into penetrating and providing some of these services more to Indonesia.